Jeremy, we just want to have a quick chat to you about how devastating the lack of water is for you just at the moment, being a farmer.
Yeah, no, well, it is extremely difficult. This is our second year of zero allocation, so as you can see, the countryside's as dry, as barren as it can be, and yeah, it's having a massive impact on our ability to earn an income and grow food for fibre for the nation and ourselves and our business.
How has this affected the town and the region?
Oh, look, it is pretty tough. I mean, rural people are pretty resilient and adaptable, and they've made changes where they can. But the enormity of the impact is such that it's beyond the capacity of people to adapt, and for there to be no impact or is significant impact.
What do you think the contributing factors are to water shortages?
Oh, look, it's pretty complex. Some of it's government policy and decisions that have been made on behalf of the Australian community, basically, to reduce the amount of water that's going to agriculture. But we've also got a drying climate, and we're just getting less water in. Less water running into the dams, there's less water for everything.
What do you think will help solve the problem?
Oh, well, apart from rain, which is, there's nothing we can actually do to make it rain, as far as I know. Look, we need to be looking at whatever we can to augment water into the system, and it's a very, very long time since we've looked at doing anything like that. Dams were on the nose for best part of 40 years. There's been talk for a long time. The Bradfield scheme was something that was talked about in the 30s. Bringing water from the Ord, all those sort of things, and a lot of them get rubbish straight away as just harebrained schemes. But I think the time's come to, just to have another look. It might not be the answer, but, why should you just not even have a look and consider it? With government policy, we're actually going the other way and removing water from productive use, and that has a significant impact.
Would you support a plan to bring water from northern Australia to this area, providing cheaper and more easily and accessible water?
Look, I think it's something that we should consider. Why not? I mean, there's always lots of reasons why you can't do something. It might be cost, it might be, engineering issues. But one thing about human beings, we're pretty good at fixing problems. We can create a few too, but we're pretty good at fixing problems. And salinity is a great example, because we were going to be all stuffed here. Salinity we were going to be wiped off the face of the earth in terms of production, and we've just fixed that like you wouldn't believe. So look, why not look at every possibility of getting more water into the system?
What do you think would be the benefits of cheaper and more easily affordable water?
Well, I think it has the capacity to sort of underwrite what we've already got. It's at the moment, with whether it's government policy or whether it's climate issues, we're getting undermined. So our production, we try and be as efficient as we can.
What do you think will be the outcome in 5 years if this problem's not fixed?
Look, it's always hard to look into the future, and we can adapt to some degree, but I think fundamentally, if we're in a similar situation, then it's going to be vastly different out here.
Are you aware of any other solutions to fix this problem?
No, probably not. But there's, looking at ways of running river systems more efficiently, operating if you can be more efficient, then that makes more water available for whatever you want to do with it. But we've done a lot of that on farm. We haven't done a lot of it in operating our rivers and dams and everything else, but that's probably the other things that we could do.
If implementing a large-scale program like the Snowy River scheme that brought water and generated its own power, what do you think would be the benefits for the region and the town?
Oh, look, I mean, we before we do things like these days, we tend to look at things that we didn't know about when we envisaged the Snowy scheme, for example. We've actually turned some water back into the Snowy River. So you've got to be mindful that you're not doing some damage wherever you're bringing the water from. If we can bring water into these established regions where the infrastructure is already set up and ready to roll, that just makes sense, like you wouldn't believe. The things that change over time are the technology to be able to do these things. So in the past, there might have been engineering solutions that were, too big a hurdle to get over. If you can bring it down, if you can build it, and the sums add up, then why wouldn't you consider it? I mean, those nation-building type activities that we've sort of hardly done any of that for the last 40 or 50 years. They're a benefit for the whole country.